I remember once I was on my way home from Bible school. And I was driving from Oklahoma to Mississippi, where I lived at the time, and I made a pit stop, get something to drink, go to the bathroom, fill up with gas and all that. And as I was filling up with gas, I noticed there was a little bus full of these Jehovah's Witnesses guys. And they were like 18 to in their 20s, and they all had on the white shirts. Some of them had the black tie on, and so they're all standing around in a circle, and they're like talking and just cutting up, like young guys will do. And in the back of my car, I had a little Toyota Corolla, and I thought, I've got a white shirt hanging back there. So I slipped on this white shirt, and I went over, and I had a real high and tight haircut, as a Bible school boy. And so I just got in the circle with them, and they just thought I was one of them. And so they're all telling jokes and stories and stuff like that, and when they laugh, I'd laugh. they didn't know. They just thought I was one of them, and so if they were going around the circle, it became my turn to tell a story or tell a joke. And so now, Jehovah's Witnesses, they don't believe that Jesus is God in the flesh. They believe, if you ask them, do you believe Jesus is the Son of God? And they go, oh yeah, he's the Son of God. What they mean by that is that he's the Son of God just like Lucifer is. Because Lucifer was an angel, and Michael the archangel became Jesus. So Jesus and Michael the archangel is the same dude. And so Jesus and Satan are brothers, like good brother, bad brother. It's like that movie Twins. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. Anyway, so, but that's not accurate because Jesus is not an angel. The Bible's full of proof on that. Hebrews 1, for example, says, let all the angels of God worship Jesus. So how many know if Jesus was an angel, he'd have to worship himself? And that would just be kind of awkward. So anyway, so Jesus is the second person of the Godhead. He is God. Theologically, we call it the hypostatic union. He's in the incarnation. He's all God, but he's all man. He's eternally united himself with the human race and taken on a flesh and bone body. So anyway, so I'm standing around, and so I had to tell you that before I could tell you this. Because it becomes my turn in the little circle to tell a joke or tell a story, right? So I said, hey, did y'all hear the one about Jesus? And they're like, oh, okay, this is going to be like a religious joke. This is going to be good. I'm like, how that Jesus is really not Lucifer's brother, that he's actually God himself in the flesh, and he died for your sins. And they're like looking at each other, and they buried him. And on the third day, God raised him from the dead according to the scriptures. And if you believe this, you'll be saved, born again. And they're all like kind of confused. And one of them looks at me and he goes, which kingdom hall are you from? I said, I'm from the kingdom hall. And they just all got real sober, and they kind of like disbanded slowly. And some went back to the bus, and some went to the van, and they just kind of were like, this is like the Spirit of God came and started messing with them. And one guy says, you're not with us, are you? I said, well, no, I didn't ride on the bus, if that's what you mean. So I got to be a witness to the Jehovah's Witnesses. That's pretty cool. That's a true story. I'm not just preaching, I'm telling the truth.